Welcome back to Lab Cyber. Hope you're having an amazing day or night wherever you are. Today's video, we're going to be talking a little bit about ethics and AI and also discuss some warnings from some very influential people within the AI industry. Now, I do have this article here from the BBC. It says, AI safety leader says world is in peril and quits to study poetry. Now, it is not my intention to create fear-mongering content. I'm only here to give you the news as it is and tell you what I truly believe, okay? I'm not trying to be manipulative in my titles or anything like that. That's not the goal of this channel, all right? I do like using AI, all right? I use AI practically every single day. And I do encourage people to use AI because it is the new technology that can really help us. However, it would be incredibly foolish of me or anyone to claim that AI is perfectly safe and there are no negative consequences involved with the use of AI. In fact, there is no single technology ever created by humanity that couldn't be used for dual purposes. Either you use that technology for good or you use that technology for bad. It's always one or the other, all right? And when it comes to the use of AI, we've seen how AI can be very, very helpful in creating content and, assisting us, helping us. But we've also seen the dangers of AI being used to create fake images, spread misinformation, and also AI starting to have a very negative influence on how we think. We're going to get to that later. But who is this AI safety leader? Well, his name is Mrinank Sharma. I'm pretty sure I butchered that name, but he used to be the head of safety for Anthropic, the exact same AI company that gave us Claude, the Claude AI model. Now, over here is his resignation letter, which he shared on X. And of course, he starts off being very diplomatic. I thank you, Anthropic. I've had a great time here. Thanking my colleagues, blah, 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 the usual. But then down here, he says, nevertheless, it is clear to me that the time has come to move on. I continuously find myself reckoning with our situation. The world is in peril, and not just from AI or bioweapons, but from a whole series of interconnected crises unfolding in this very moment. Now, he goes on to say, moreover, throughout my time here, I have repeatedly seen how hard it is to truly let our values govern our actions. I have seen this within myself, within the organization, where we constantly face pressure to set aside what matters the most. Now, the reason why this really resonates with me is because over the last few weeks, I've actually been working on a brand new AI course, which is specifically on AI ethics. See, what he's saying here, without being direct, is that he joined Anthropic because he wanted to genuinely create AI that was safe to use, that was ethical, but he has now realized that safety and ethics aren't the priorities of Anthropic. They care more about deploying AI as quickly as possible, dominating the AI market, and obviously making money and generating profits. So safety, ethics, and all this typically takes a back seat. And this is why he's saying this. Obviously, he's not being direct. He doesn't want to throw Anthropic under the bus. He's trying to be very, very diplomatic about it. But when you read in between the lines, you realize that, his values, what he genuinely believed in, which is creating safe AI, Anthropic no longer prioritize that. They have other things that they care more about, and that's why he is resigning. Now, he, says, he's going to go back to, I believe, England, and he's going to take up poetry and simply disappear. So good luck to him. But he's not the only one. There's another safety researcher who used to work for OpenAI, and she resigned. And she also wrote a very lengthy article, which is what you have right here. Basically, she is criticizing OpenAI because they have started to roll out ads. I pay for the premium version of ChatGPT, so I don't know if you've seen ads. Maybe you're using the free version of ChatGPT. I haven't seen any because, again, I'm paying for the premium version. But she resigned because OpenAI have started to run ads. Now, obviously OpenAI have said, hey, we need to run ads because we need to pay for, the structure. Running AI is very, very expensive, and we need to generate revenue one way or the other. Now, the argument here has always been OpenAI has two choices, okay? Either they make AI very expensive, say $1,000 a month, and then sell those subscriptions to only wealthy people. So people who can afford to pay thousands of dollars a month to use the premium version of a ChatGPT. That's one option. The problem here is that then it's only wealthy people who will be able to use ChatGPT. The other option will be to make ChatGPT as cheap as possible, ensure that anyone around the world can use ChatGPT, but to raise revenue, to raise money, they will have to serve ads. She says, no, it doesn't have to be one or the other. There are other alternatives. There are other ways how ChatGPT can make money without resorting to using ads. I'm not going to list them. It's in the article, but it doesn't matter because ChatGPT or OpenAI rather are not going to listen to her. Now, her main issue here isn't the fact that OpenAI are actually running ads, but the way they're very likely going to run the advertisements. Here's the problem, okay? A lot of people right now, they chat with ChatGPT like it's their friend, like it's their best friend, all right? They share their medical concerns, they talk about their relationships, they talk about their political and religious beliefs. So ChatGPT, or rather OpenAI, they have access to the most intimate information about their users. Let's not pretend. I know OpenAI would say, oh, we don't use the data of our users, blah, 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 blah. You will be naive to think that that's not what they're going to do. So her main concern here is that, all right, initially, OpenAI, of course, they're promising that their ads are not going to be manipulative. They're not going to serve ads based on the data of their users. They'll try to be as transparent as possible. She believes that, yes, initially that might be the case, but eventually, and based on history, OpenAI will forget about those principles, and in their attempts to maximize engagement and profits, they will start to serve ads that are tailored specifically for each individual user based on the information and data that they have about them. Again, you have users chatting with ChatGPT, providing the most intimate details about their relationships, their fears, their friendships, their beliefs to ChatGPT. So now imagine OpenAI using all that information to sell ads. This could be psychological manipulation on a whole new level. If you think that Facebook and Instagram and all these social media platforms know a lot about you, just wait until AI takes over and begins to serve you ads. That's going to take manipulation to a whole new level entirely. So that is her main concern. It's not the fact that OpenAI are necessarily providing advertisements, but the way they're going to go about it. Okay, let's not kid ourselves. All these AI companies, I know OpenAI would like to claim that they're, non-profit or anything like that. At the end of the day, I guarantee you that maximizing engagement, maximizing revenue, maximizing profit for the shareholders will take over and will become the priority for them. It's no longer going to be about ethics or safety or anything like that. And the real issues here are that we're starting to really depend more and more on AI. All right. And down here, at the end of the article, she provides a comment from one of her followers. Okay. This is from somebody called Mark. And he says, my sister-in-law refers to her AI bot as they and has turned over significant life choices to it. Her critical thinking has been diminished, and no amount of explain that it is just an extremely powerful algorithm will persuade her that the advice she receives isn't infallible. So basically, so many people no longer critically think. All they do is ask ChatGPT or ask Claude or Gemini or whatever their favorite AI model is, hey, tell me about this, tell me why this is, and whatever answers they're given, that's the answer they're going to go with. Hopefully you're different. I know I'm different. I try to be very, very critical about the kind of responses I get from ChatGPT and Claude because I know they can make mistakes. But a lot of people don't think like that. You guys remember this story? I covered it on this channel a few months ago. This was the very, very sad story of how a former tech consultant, in fact, he used to be a Yahoo manager, he ended up killing himself and his mother. He had mental issues, and he thought that his mother was plotting against him. His mother was going to try to take him out, and he would go to ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT about his fears. And ChatGPT was actually encouraging him to do something about it. ChatGPT was actually fueling his insane thoughts and his insane ideas. You can read the article, is on the New York Post. I'll actually provide the link down in the box below. I covered this on the channel as well. He would go to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT was constantly reinforcing his insane beliefs. And at the end of the day, guess what? He did the unthinkable. He took himself out. He took his mother out. So, the real fear right now is that more and more people, we're starting to rely on AI for critical thinking. We no longer think for ourselves. And when you now have AI providing advertisements to users, that's going to take psychological manipulation to a brand to a whole new level. And the consequences, we can't even begin to imagine what the consequences might be. So that's basically it for the video. Sorry, I know it's a pretty negative video, but I guess the point here is that we need to be very, very careful about how we use AI. Yes, I would encourage people to keep on using AI. AI has its advantages. I use AI almost every single day, but we need to realize that AI can make mistakes, and we need to stop delegating most of our critical thinking, or in fact, any of our critical thinking, towards AI. We need to be able to think for ourselves. And yes, we can ask AI for suggestions and some advice, but let's also try to be very critical about the kind of information and advice and recommendations that we get from AI, because AI can also make mistakes. So that's it. Some pretty grim warnings from safety researchers, one from OpenAI, another from Anthropic as well. So we will see how things proceed from here. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, share the video with anyone who may feel might benefit from it. If you're new here to the channel, welcome to Lab Cyber. My name is Alex. I cover stories from the world of cybersecurity and AI. So if you do enjoy content like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video. If you have any comments, questions, I'd love to hear from you. Put your comments down in the comment section below. I always respond to all comments on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.